Thanks for joining us for another half hour of news. We begin with a live look at Salem this evening. What a gorgeous shot.
Look at those clouds.
I know, but also the colors. But we also have a cold weather advisory for much of the valley as we get ready for another chilly evening.
Chief Meteorologist Matt Safina is with us. Matt, it sounds like this does not include all of the Portland metro, though.
It doesn't. The mornings have been cold, the afternoons have been mild, and the temperatures fall quickly once the sun goes down, so we're at 39 right now. East winds are still with us. They've weakened a bit, but they're not going to completely go away. Now it was a cold morning. We dropped down to 25 in Salem, 22 in Eugene, Portland 31, and up in Washington we dropped down to 22 in Vancouver for the second morning in a row. Coldest temperatures of the season so far up in the Coop. So for that reason, there is a cold weather advisory. A couple years ago, the Weather Service took a bunch of different cold weather advisories, frost warning, freeze warning, hard freeze warning, and the like, and combined them all into this and set the metric for us anyway of temperatures dropping below 25 degrees for about 4 hours in the morning. So we've got this cold weather advisory, but really we're not seeing weather that's any different from what we've had the last couple of mornings. And the advisory does not include the bulk of Multnomah County either. So it's mainly the surrounding areas that are getting colder than 25. Portland may drop to 28, but this morning we dropped to 31. If the winds weaken a little bit more, then 28 is certainly a possibility for tomorrow. The clear sky continues here on the west side. Fog and low clouds over on the east side. It's been brutal over there with the foggy weather and the cold temperatures there. We're going to stay dry through the weekend. The nights continue to be cold. No big changes in the offing, at least not yet. We'll take a deep look, see if we can find any, guys.
All right, chilly status quo, at least for now. Thanks, Matt.
Now to immigration enforcement issues and reports of ICE activity that forced multiple schools in the Seattle area to shelter in place. Here's Maddie White.
Fear and confusion swept through parts of Seattle after unconfirmed reports of possible immigration enforcement activity near schools. Several campuses moved into shelter in place as students and families waited for answers.
It's tense. It's a tense feeling.
That tension was felt across generations.
I'm a kid of the 60s, so we've been through this.
Now struggling to explain it to his grandchild.
Are we going back to that? I hope not, because there's going to be, a lot of people getting hurt.
Inside classrooms, students say the day grew quieter, uncertainty hanging in the air.
That very much, that gets me terrified.
We spoke with this student with permission from his parents.
I felt very scared, honestly, inside.
Cleveland STEM High is just one of 6 schools that sheltered in place out of an abundance of caution. Others were Aki Kurosi Middle School, Beacon Hill International, Dearborn Park International, Maple Elementary, and Mercer International Middle School. As worry spread, something else happened.
It's a very scary thing for anyone to be going through.
Neighbors, advocates, and community members showed up.
Be a bit of a buffer between us and kids who are just trying to get home after their day at school.
Standing between fear and students.
I feel really hopeful. I feel really proud of my city, of my neighborhood.
Some simply being present.
If there had been ICE here, we would have been kind of keeping alert.
This is our Know Your Rights packet.
Others informing families of their rights.
What's it going to be like going to school tomorrow?
I'm just hoping nothing scary happens. I'm just hoping that it's a better tomorrow.
No confirmed immigration enforcement activity was reported at the schools, but the emotional impact was real. And by day's end, one message rang out across campuses and communities.
Stick together.
Maddie White reporting there. Meanwhile, Washington lawmakers are looking to put guardrails, so to speak, on automatic license plate reader cameras over concerns about ICE and other agencies getting access to their data. Right now, more than 80 jurisdictions in the state use Flock, and there are currently no rules regulating how that data is stored, shared, and used. Last year, a report from the UW Center for Human Rights found that the federal immigration agents tapped into Flock data in order to identify, pull over, and arrest immigrants. Yesterday in Olympia, both Republicans and Democrats indicated the use of Flock data has gotten out of hand.
We've seen reports that have shown how the technology is being wielded against community members without their knowledge.
What time you drop your kids off at school, when and where you attend religious services, how often, which kind of doctor you're going to visit. It struck me. These cameras vacuum up all data regardless of whether there's criminal wrongdoing.
The proposed bills as they stand would limit federal agencies from accessing Flock data. They would also require that agencies delete raw data, including pictures of vehicles and their license plates, within 72 hours.
And while lawmakers consider that bill looking to limit federal immigration actions in Washington, President Trump has renewed his call to withhold federal funding from states with sanctuary cities. Yesterday, he touted his administration's accomplishments 1 year into his second term. The president criticized states like Oregon and Washington, where local law enforcement is restricted from helping federal immigration officers.
You got to get rid of your sanctuary cities, and I hope our people know that we're not going to pay sanctuary cities. We're not going to pay them anymore. They are sanctuary for criminals. They hold criminals. We're not going to pay. They can sue us and maybe they'll win, but we're not giving money to sanctuary cities anymore as of the beginning of the month.
Trump has said funding will be cut off February 1st, but which funding would be impacted is still unclear. Previous attempts to cut off funding to sanctuary cities were struck down in court.
North of Seattle, a family at the center of a high-profile missing persons case is now pushing for a change in state law. The father of 21-year-old Jonathan Wong says it's time for a new type of alert, specifically for missing people with cognitive or developmental disabilities like his son. Wong's been missing for nearly 300 days. His family says he has autism and the mental capacity of a 9-year-old, though it turns out authorities did not issue an endangered missing persons advisory until the 5th day after his disappearance. A delay, his sister says, stemmed from confusion over his cognitive abilities.
Despite our family sharing that he wouldn't be able to get home, with the purple alert, it would be, really, really clear who it applies to and who it doesn't.
All right, so a purple alert. The bill is also proposing an ebony alert when black people go missing.
Oregon Governor Tina Kotek has created a new committee to chart a path forward when it comes to data centers in Oregon. The idea is to have industry leaders put together policy recommendations by October of this year. The goal is to balance the economic opportunities data centers provide with things like utility costs for consumers and environmental impacts. The committee will meet once a month. No word yet on when those meetings will begin.
Developing this evening, big changes could be coming to Multnomah County's Deflection program. That's the option of treatment instead of jail for some people caught with hard drugs. Blair Best has the update.
Tuesday morning, the latest work session on deflection.
Thank you, Commissioner Brennan.
Multnomah County commissioners talked of how to improve the program, one that struggles to help those suffering from addiction.
There are still some really big holes that make somebody's journey very, very difficult.
The county's Deflection Center opened in Portland's Central East Side in September 2024. It's a place officers take people caught with personal amounts of hard drugs instead of jail. County commissioners still weighing how to structure the program.
I really think that we are going to get to a place where we're going to get to some agreement about the direction that we want to go in.
In the first year, county data shows just over 600 people went to the Deflection Center. 92% were homeless. 392 people were referred to services, and just 20 went to detox.
With 92% of people going into deflection experiencing homelessness, those systems being disconnected is just setting people up for failure.
It wasn't like there were any goals of you need to serve X number of people in the first year, or it needs to look exactly like this. This was a brand new thing for the entire state to do.
Changes commissioners are now proposing include same-day substance use disorder assessments, including increased access to detox, transportation to treatment services, and shelter for those in the deflection program, ongoing engagement with a care coordinator, and expanding who is eligible for deflection, including those with misdemeanor charges and outside referrals. The county spends $5 million taxpayer dollars per year to run the program.
We need to make sure that that money is being well spent, that it actually is resulting in better outcomes for the individuals who are going through deflection.
Commissioner Shannon Singleton, among those looking to change the definition of deflection success. Right now, success is merely engaging in a referral within 30 days.
This board is interested in looking at how we can make success for the person so that they're actually able to enter into treatment.
The chair pointed out the state's Criminal Justice Commission must approve any program changes.
So that's a really critical step.
That group manages state money for Multnomah County deflection.
And these conversations take a little while because it's where we want to go, and then it's also what do we need then to implement them to make sure that they can become, an actual program that will function successfully.
That was Blair Best reporting. Still ahead, we're talking peanut butter raises.
Raisins?
Raises.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I've not heard about these either. But no, it does not mean getting paid in food. The growing trend when it comes to salary increases.
I could use a snack. Plus, a quick and simple way to give your home a breath of fresh air in the middle of winter without driving up your heating bill. I'm just going to throw this one out there. Open the window.
I saw it in the video.
Yeah, stick around.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Okay, check this out. New research from the compensation firm PayScale finds that more employers plan to give so-called peanut butter raises this year. No, not crunchy or creamy. It means raises will be spread more evenly across the workforce rather than merit-based. Got to take it out of the fridge, lighten it up, right? The report found about 25% of companies are planning to give employees identical raises, with another 18% also considering the approach. PayScale says concerns over subjectivity, bias, efficiency, and keeping things simple all play a part. Learn something new every day, right?
Who knew? And also, why not call them like jelly raises? Because you got to spread that too.
Spread that too. We could go all day with this, right? While we're talking trends, have you heard of house burping?
No, but also, yeah, it sounds kind of gross too, right? Apparently, though, it's when you open windows during winter to freshen things up inside, even though it's cold out.
Let's change the name, right?
Here's NBC's Emily Akita.
While frigid temperatures have millions avoiding the outdoors, these days, some folks are welcoming the cold into their homes.
Just get some fresh air in there. You'll thank me, babe.
It's part of a growing trend inspired by the age-old German practice known as Lüften, meaning to air out by briefly opening the windows and letting the fresh air in. In the U.S., it's picking up steam under a quirkier quip: house burping.
This is a reminder that even though it's freezing, you need to burp your house.
But no matter the name, indoor air quality pro Tony Abadi says it has real benefits, including preventing mold, contaminants, and carbon dioxide buildup.
When you bring in some more air from the outside, you dilute those concentrations and you reduce them.
Which he says is especially important for Americans who spend about 90% of their time indoors, according to the EPA. In Germany, the Washington Post reports many apartment leases contain a Lüften clause, requiring tenants to open their windows multiple times a day. Raised by German parents in New York, Lucy Roschnabel has been doing this her whole life.
Every single morning, I need to smell the fresh air and let it into my room because otherwise I'll just feel so stuffy.
A post on her morning ritual garnering hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok.
My parents thought it was hilarious that a trend like that is trending. Like, it's just something that's so integrated in the German lifestyle and so normalized.
Now, it's not an airtight solution. One study suggests Germany's ventilation practices can undermine energy efficiency. And with home electricity costs in the U.S. at their highest in a decade, a body says the key is
10 minutes, no more than that is really necessary.
a quick and simple way to give yourself and your space a little breathing room.
I'm learning so much today about peanut butter raises
Burping.
and house burping, something I'd never heard of before, neither of them.
I got to say, my other half does this, cracks open the bedroom window every morning.
Huh.
Just like that. Luften. Let's just use that. How about that?
Sure.
Sounds better than house burping.
It does, way better.
There's nothing that sounds refreshing about burping at
sounds
all.
kinda
Yeah,
gross.
exactly. It really does. All right, I want to talk about the rain or the lack thereof in Portland that we've had so far this month. This is a calendar showing the days where we have had rain. Those are the days that are colored in green. And you can see there's only been 8 of them. 8 of our 21 days this month we have had rain. And the last one was way back on the 11th of January, which means we've had now, including today, which isn't on the map because it's on the graphic, it's not over yet. But today is day 10 of 0 rainfall at all. We are approaching a record. The record dry streak in January in Portland is 13 days. We're now at day 10. I think there's an excellent chance that we capture and break that record. Not a record you really want to break. Now, cold mornings, yes. Vancouver's coldest of the season, 22. That was today and yesterday. In Portland, a bit warmer, and it was back in December on the 30th. We dropped down to 29. That was our coldest temperature of the year so far. A great looking sky from our Salem sky cam. The light, of course, in the southwestern sky. These high, thin, wispy clouds coming up from a weather system down in California don't mean anything. We're not going to see any change in our pattern at all. Over the next few days, it's 42 in Salem, but the temperatures dropping fast in areas like Salem, which have light winds. Still windy in Troutdale. And the winds in the gorge are still formidable. They're still gusting over 65 miles an hour at Corbett and Crown Point, but they are beginning to diminish. I know it doesn't sound like it when you're talking about 60-mile-an-hour gusts, but yesterday we had 74-mile-an-hour gusts, and the sustained winds are dropping off as well. And that's really the only part of the state that's windy. And in spite of the fact that it's brisk in East County, I know you have to deal with that. It is keeping the air quite dry, very dry, and clear here in the Portland area, unlike the Columbia Basin stuck in the fog and low clouds. We have cooled off a bit, though. Our high today only 45, made 58 down on the south coast, Medford 55, only 21 for the high in Joseph with fog in Wallowa County there. High pressure that's over us and has been over us is beginning to break down a little bit, but I wouldn't get too excited about a pattern change because in terms of the actual weather that we all experience, really not much change at all, at least through the weekend. Now, high pressure is beginning, as I said, to break up a little bit. There's low pressure rolling into California, but that's just undercutting this area of high pressure, not replacing it. So we don't get that rain, and any weather systems coming in from the west simply too weak to do anything. Now, the models want to produce some precipitation over us. If that actually happened, the low-level air mass is so dry it likely would evaporate before it reaches the ground, and that's called virga, and that's the low we'd see from that. Then on Monday, okay, a few showers on the coast. I don't think that's going to happen either. And then as we go into Wednesday, that's our next best chance of actually getting some precipitation, measurable precipitation, and breaking the aforementioned dry streak. But the winds at least are going to back off and eventually switch to onshore for at least a little while as we go into the weekend. So subtle change there. 39 Portland right now, freezing level at 10,800 feet, and those east winds continue to blow, especially east of I-205. On the coast, another beautiful day, sunny. Beautiful. Highs will be around 50. Lows, though, even the coast, down below freezing. In the valleys, highs in the low 40s and lows in the 20s, even low 20s again, like Corvallis 22. So it will be cold yet again in the overnight hours. Same thing for Portland. Vancouver 24, Portland 31. Could be some areas of frost out there. Partly sunny tomorrow as we get some high clouds drifting north from that weather system in California. Highs in the 40s right on through Monday. And then Tuesday we bounce back up into the 50s, and Wednesday may actually bring some rain. At that point, we're on what, the 28th of January?
Wow.
Be a long streak.
I think when you said 22 degrees there, I felt the AC kick on somewhere up there.
You never know how
I
that's
know.
going to go.
It's
You
been
never
chilly.
do.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks, Matt.
Sure.
Okay, let's talk about a woman who helped define American figure skating. Now, an Olympic icon is watching the next generation take flight as the Winter Games approach. The story when we return in just 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Oh, let it begin. The Winter Olympics get underway 2 weeks from this Friday, and beyond the star athlete power, and they can also turn virtually unknown competitors into household names.
Like in 1992 with figure skater Kristi Yamaguchi. I actually had a poster of her in my bedroom when I was growing up. Loved her. Corey Miller sat down with the skating legend to reminisce and shine a light on the coming generation of Olympic heroes ready to star in Milan.
When you say American figure skating, few names come to mind before Kristi Yamaguchi. In 1992, at just 20 years old, she became a sensation as the first Asian American to win a gold medal at an Olympic Winter Games.
It's pretty incredible when you have success there and then you come home and all of a sudden life is a lot different.
And she remembers that gold medal moment like it was yesterday.
It was the triple Lutz and I was skating into it and I was so scared. And as I was in the air, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fall. Like, I'm not landing this. And somehow I was on my feet at the end, and it was, I'm telling you, it was pure training that kicked in at that point.
The United States has developed many notable skaters since 1992, but 2026 could be the most loaded team yet. And the Olympic legend can't wait to see the next generation in action, like the quad god, Ilya Malinin, who is redefining what's possible on the ice.
I don't think I've ever fathomed we would see a quad axel in our lifetime. And here is Ilya Malinin doing it almost with ease.
And the second act of Alyssa Liu, a fellow Northern California native who Yamaguchi has developed a connection with over the years.
You know, at 16 and retiring, there was just, oh, there's a little bit more left in you, Alyssa, come on. I was like so sad when she retired, and to see her come back, and the reason for it, you know, she said she found the joy again.
And if they show some highlights from '92 during competition this year from Milan, well, here's what Yamaguchi hopes fans remember about her golden winner in the spotlight.
When you're cheering for someone and they somehow pull through and it inspires them to go after their dreams as well. You know, hopefully they can pass it on to their kids and encourage them maybe to find someone that's current day that can inspire them.
Well put, Albertville 92. Wow, it's been a journey. The countdown is on to the Olympic opening ceremony in Milan, just 16 days out on Friday, February 6th. You can watch the Parade of Nations, the lighting of the cauldron, and so much more. All those faces live, only here on NBC and KGW. We'll be right back. We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert days, stream extended coverage on KGW+. On Weather Impact Alert days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW+. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW+. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Well, stay with us. We've got another full hour of news coming up in just 2 minutes.
I'm excited about the Olympics. I don't want to wait 2 days and 2 weeks for that. In the meantime, let's check out the view from our Vancouver sky camera. That's a pretty good consolation prize, isn't it? Your top stories are coming up.